WH movement of subject. We have seen that many a time. The subject is a word which is WH. It may be who or it may be what, right? So WH, as we have seen, question formation involves, for example, WH movement. The WH word is moved from its place to the initial position. And second, subject auxiliary inversion. Sometimes it's with do or without do support. With subject WH phrases, this is not true. For example, in subject, actually, when the subject is WH word, actually we don't move it from to any place, or we don't have any auxiliary or do support in it. For example, who left last night? Who is the subject of the verb left, and it is there on its place of the subject. It has not been moved anywhere. So since the subject WH phrase occupies a sentence initial position, we shall say for the sake of generality that WH movement takes place here as well, but that its effect is not visible. We just imagine that there was a place, because in other sentence we bring the WH word from their places to the initial position. So we imagine that here was a place. It was vacuous. It was blank, right? So we have brought it from that place. So the WH movement is said to apply vacuously here, blankly here. So, for example, in 61, you can say here was a blank place, WH place, and then our sentence start who passed leave. Similarly, in 62, we have made movement. So the WH word is removed to the WH noun phrase, and after in the sentence the NP is now left blank. So there is no SAI, subject auxiliary inversion. Evidence, this is the evidence that noun phrase which is subject is indeed affected by WH movement can be found in certain complex sentences. For example, let's look at these sentences. Who did you say had left the garage open? So if you look at this, the main clause is you say, and the subordinate clause is who left the garage. So the subject of left is who, and the subject of say is you. Similarly, in 64, which boy did you say has broken the window? The main clause is you say, did you say, and the which has been brought to the beginning or the initial position from broken. So WH movement of subject was brought to the initial position. So this position was empty. Otherwise, if you look at the subject of the main clause, it is on its place. You is on its place. The boy is on its. You in 64 is on its place. But we have brought the subject of the subordinate or embedded clause to the initial position, which in 61 we said is a blank space. So who the subject is of had left this garage open, and which boy is the subject is of has broken the window. So WH movement in S bar sentence. This is what we have seen. We have so far developed a schema for WH question formation, which is based on the assumption that in underlying structures, such sentences contain an interrogative WH element and are preceded by a slot for WH items. So WH movement extract the WH phrase from its original place, as we have just seen in sentence, and leaves a gap marked by 3 dots and moves the WH phrase into the slot marked by marked for receiving it, that is the initial place. So if you look at this, in the initial position we have a WH place, and we have brought what after the verb, which is actually the direct object of the verb send. And this presence of what tells us that we are also having SAI, subject auxiliary inversion. So you can see in 66, what will John send to Mary? So we shall say that the slot mark for WH word S at the beginning of the sentence together with the following S again constitute an S bar sentence, an embedded sentence. So after WH movement, the WH phrase will occupy the slot label plus WH. So this is sentence bar that tells us that this is the embedded element, subordinate element. What? And now we have S, which tells us that it is the main or independent clause will John send, and the empty place tells us that this is the slot which has been moved from here to the initial position of the sentence. So this is how we try to define WH movement of subject, which apparently remain at their on place.